Hello guys, welcome back to 1878 Blues, Manchester United 4, Everton 0. Just before we get into this reaction, if you can like, comment, subscribe. Let's try and hit 900 subs. It would be great before the end of the year. Yeah, I've just come back from watching me mate's little brother play some Sunday League football. It was great. Haven't been to anything like that or seen any Sunday League football since I played so long ago. So it was a nice experience to have. Meanwhile, whilst that was happening, I was getting score updates of the game. At that point, I didn't even know what time it was. I know I knew it was 4-0, and I was going, I feel like it's still in the first half. I can't remember when the game kicked off. You know, your mind was just on what you was watching. You know, the kids playing football and stuff, and then you know, I thought the game was on initially. I actually thought it was live. But yeah, I'm kind of glad it wasn't. I feel sorry for anyone who's watched it. You know, I've backed, and I backed. I don't really particularly back Dyche. If there's someone better out there, and we can actually, you know, if they can guarantee us a lot more success, obviously I'll be going for that person. But I don't know who's out there who can sort these players out. You know, there's a number of players here who have been here for a while, like I mentioned in my last video, and they've let us down way more than they've actually done well for us. And I just don't know how. I know the way we play is terrible. You know, every player, you can have Messi up front as a striker and he'll still be out of the game for the majority of the game. You'll barely get a touch of the ball. You know, the tactics, the formations, everything is terrible. And it's for me, it's easy for me to defend when we've been picking up points where we would have lost them last season or other seasons before. Obviously, ideally, still, I'm not happy about this. You know, let's not get it twisted. I generally hate watching us, and I hate the club we've become, and just we're always looking down instead of up. But I just thought for short term and what was going on, I was going, it's crap, it's terrible. Everything's about it is something I hate, but we're not losing. But obviously in the league you need to start winning games, and you know, we can't have a stretch again like last season, 3 months without a win. It's disgraceful. Like, lucky still got a job after that, in my opinion. And you know, I get anxious anyway when we lose our managers, and in the past few seasons, and then we brought someone in, because you just don't know what would happen. You know, you see other teams like United have a bounce, and you go, well, is that going to happen with Everton? Because it's still the same players who are not a lot of them are just bang average. You know, maybe very good on their day, but very inconsistent. And you know, the goals today were pathetic, absolutely pathetic. But you know, I'm going to blame Dyche as well for his in-game management. You know, I don't understand how you make your first substitution after we're 4-0 down. Why can't we just bring players on and go, that was fucking shit, the first half? I'm sorry for swearing, because I'm trying to cut it out my videos, but it's just the way I express myself sometimes. And as an angry Everton supporter, I think, you know, I'm being quite light here in what I'm saying. But, you know, you need to be bringing on 2 or 3 subs at half time, because that first half's just not good enough. It's simply not good enough. Barely creating a chance. And you look at the stats, 11 shots to 8. You know, their goals really, I think all of them are being to our downfall, and what, you know, mistakes and stuff. And you know, United aren't a great team. They're not a good team, in my opinion. They're not. They've got players there who are up and coming and promising, but they're not ready for, in my opinion, Manchester United, of who they are. Because obviously Manchester United are massive and shouldn't be where they are. But we made, you know, it was the easiest game of the season for them. And you know, you have to look at this before. Almiron's first home game, yes, they drew against Ipswich away, his first game, and then they've gone quite unconvincing against Bodo and Glimt in Europa League 3-2. You know, there's still, you know, they haven't had long with him, and he's trying to get his ideas across, and he even said in his interviews, you know, let's be patient, and I'd rather be seeing, you know, just not winning games. I'd rather see what he's trying to achieve at the club. How are you not trying to take advantage of that at all? The players just looked like they couldn't give a monkey's today. They generally just heads are down. Like, I just can't. I feel like there's not enough characters in our team, and you see other players in other teams, like even just a singular player, where they've got a bit of character about them, a bit of personality. I feel like our players just drop their heads. Or someone who's made the most mistakes, or who's having a terrible game, trying to instruct people of what to do and whatnot, or moaning at others. I just don't see any characters in this team. There's anyone who will stand up to the fight. You know what I mean? Like, 2-0 down, it was just hopeless. The goal was pathetic. And Dyche just not even going, you know what, no, I'm not having this, because we haven't, you know, we've been keeping these clean sheets. You know, we've lost, you keep saying lost 1 in 6 or something. You're losing 2-0. You're not going to, you know, the chances of you getting back in this game is very slim, but the least you can do. And I think we focus too much, Everton, as well, on goal difference, and obviously that has helped us in certain scenarios in the past few years with these relegation battles. But at some point where it's been historically shit for a number of seasons in December period, you know, they've been spoiling me Christmas every few years now, every year in the past few years, and you know, at this point in the way the games are coming up thick and thin, we've got Wolves at home and next week, and I'll get into that in a bit, but you know, that's probably the only game where you could argue you know, there should be a chance of us getting some points from that. Yeah, you know, you're losing 2-0 at Old Trafford. You know, I didn't even feel like we've thrown a punch in when it hit 4-0. So I'd rather it got to 4-0, maybe a bit earlier, but at least at some points in the game, show a bit of fight and a bit of risk and a bit of, you know, we're not just going to sit here and settle for a 2-0 defeat, keep the score down and, you know, maybe nick a goal and see what happens. It's just always a bit of hope, and there's a lot of, I've said this for a while, Dyche is just too safe. He's just got a leash on everyone, on every player. But at the same time, today the players were terrible, were absolutely terrible. You know, Beto's starting today. You know, everyone's going on about Beto, this and that. He hasn't, to me, and he might just need a run of games and whatnot, but there's still nothing to me that goes, he needs to be playing. You know, no one's given me an argument to start for this team. From back to front today, like I said, everyone was terrible. Probably you could argue Pickford, there's nothing much you could do. Bramthwaite, you know, thinking he's playing for United already, defensively all over the place, making a mistake for the second goal, I think it was. And then the first goal as well, you know, Rashford smashing it, you know, players leaving, even though Rashford hasn't been great, and to me he is overrated in my just personal opinion. He's still, you know, he can score a banger outside the box, and leaving him on marks, criminal. I said Pickford looked like he was going to save, and then Bramthwaite knocked it into his own net, trying to deflect it or trying to block it. Second goal, Bramthwaite getting dispossessed on the board. I don't understand what we're trying to do. I think we've been with Dyche for this length of time. Unless, I don't want to look like I've just said something one week and then to the other. I don't know exactly who you could get in a replacement, and I don't know if it's worth it. And it's just going to be one of them seasons where we're going to have to grind it out again, and then maybe next season we just have to, I don't know, if things open up for us a bit in terms of money and whatnot, and the ownership. There's obviously a lot of people calling Dyche out, and they have every right to, and I believe, you know, he shouldn't probably be in this job, but I just think the position of the club at the moment, and the way I think we've only got like a temporary, you know, board members. I don't think we've got our proper board in yet, I think, from the last I've heard. You know, it's just, I just think this, even though I'm saying Dyche should be a bit more risky, I think just in terms of getting rid of him will be very, very risky, because I will know who you would turn to, and I don't know who could improve the squad much more because I don't think the squad's that good anyway. They'll turn up for the games when they really matter, and they should be mattering every game. And like I said, we're going to fall asleep this month and lose probably every game. You just can't be getting beat by United in the position they are. I don't really care if it's Almiron's first home game. He's already had his home game, so that kind of thing's gone, to be honest. But it's his first Premier League home game. I don't really think that makes much of a fucking difference, to be honest. And they're going to be pressing, they're going to try and impress the new manager, he's going to get them working hard, and we just didn't match them. And I just don't get how many times I've said this over the years where, this a team like that probably on the up, or, their scenario's a lot positive than ours, and we just don't react to it, and I just don't understand. You don't see the warning signs, and you can blame both parties, the manager and the team itself. I say today was a bit of both, because I just didn't like the reaction from Dyche. Bringing loads of players on 4-0 down, it's just like, what the fuck's that gonna do? Like, I just don't get it. I don't get it. Yeah, I just don't know how we play. I don't understand. I've been saying this for years, and I can only remember Martinez style, or Marco Silva maybe, and obviously David Moyes beforehand, where you got the identity, you could see what we tried to do. We had certain players doing certain jobs because that's the nature of how we played our football. But even if them players didn't play, or they was injured or something, they will find another way to play, and it'll still be as effective. And yeah, we lose games, whatever. I'm not saying we were the team fighting for titles and that, but we just had an identity or something, and I still don't know from Dyche's year and a half in charge of what the fuck we are doing and what we are. And I haven't even looked at his post-match reaction yet, but I can imagine he's just going to say the same shit. Well, this is where the club is at the moment. It's just repetitive, and it's the same shit, and it's not enjoyable. And if he thinks that any of these performances have been relatively good whatsoever, then he's fucking deluded, and he's very lucky that our club's quite broken at the minute, and we're in transition stage from going to a new stadium, which is a big deal. He's lucky still, and the money situation, financial fair play, and that, he's lucky that we probably couldn't afford to sack him. He's very lucky, because it's nothing short of a disgrace what we're seeing. Third goal, fourth goal, fucking terrible, absolutely terrible. I watched the highlights. Like I said, I was out today. If you watched the start of the video, and you just see the goals, and I could already give you an analysis of how the game went and how we was playing. But it's just pathetic all over. All this big hype about Broja, and Chimiti. Honestly, I don't know who the admin is for Everton Football Club, but I don't know where this positivity is coming from these two players coming back. Chimiti showed me nothing up to now, and I'm not trying to put too much pressure on the kid. He's only just turned 20 or whatever. We did buy him for a relatively bigger price than I actually thought it was, to be honest. I thought it was about 6 to 8 million, but it was about 16 million or something. And he might have had a decent pre-season, but God, how many times have we seen that before? You just can't be that positive with Everton and go, well, we had a great pre-season, that means he's going to be good this season. He's showing that he's probably turned the corner and got some confidence and whatnot. Him starting today, Broja starting today, and this big hype about Broja as well, I've never really understood it, to be honest. I've just never understood it wherever he's played. I just don't understand the hype. If them two starting up top wouldn't have made a difference today, and it's because, like I said, I don't know if I said in the last video, I've been saying to myself this week, that Dyche just needs to put an extra 5% on taking a bit more risk, and you'd see a difference. But I don't know what the differences be. The defence, when they're exposed, they're not as good as what they should be. I think that's because we do mark tightly and focus solely on our defending to stay in a game and then try and nick a win or whatnot. I don't know if that would improve with a newer manager, but I can't trust these players at this point. The ones who've been here for a number of seasons now, not the new ones coming in, obviously, but I just haven't got that trust in them. You know, it's even bringing Harrison back in the summer, like, he's years ago simply not good enough, and people go, oh, the position you're in now, he is good, he's a good squad player, but, you know, there's nothing that fills me with excitement. I'm a bit disappointed with Lindstrom at the moment. Obviously players take longer to adapt sometimes, but, you know, you're like, well, you need to hurry up quickly because we haven't got a very big squad as it is, and we need these players to be trying to hit the ground running, to be honest. Yeah, it's very poor, and you know, I don't know if I said in the video, or I said to myself yesterday, this game will either be 4-0, and I think I actually said 4-0, or 1-0. Like, it will either be a battering, or it will be somehow we'll nick a point or whatever. And I think today, if we just did the same work ethic, pressed the ball a lot better, stop faffing about at the back, and Dice was just a bit more, I can't think of the word, but just a bit more expansive, and, you know, just less taking a what's the word? Yeah, less taking a risk on more things in terms of how we play and stuff. You know, United right now in this transition stage they're going through at the moment, you've got to take advantage of that, and you've got to get at them. You've got to make it as uncomfortable as you can. I don't think we laid a glove on them today. Calvert-Lewin, come on, header. Onana say fantastic, better, went past the keeper. Hard, like, I'm not gonna slate him for that, you know, I can slate him for his finishing since he's joined us, but that was, you know, it wasn't particularly easy. The chance, I think he had the lit right on him, so it was hard either way, but just poor. There was just nothing in that performance, and like I said, you might as well just not turned up today. In my opinion, you might as well just not even bothered to come in and to step on that pitch, which you're very lucky in doing so. You know, you've just given Almiron the easiest 3 points, and I think Almiron's not daft as well. I think he'll be like, well, Everton just gave us the points there. They haven't laid the glove on us. There's got to be better teams in the league, and they're not going to probably get their heads high up with that result. I think that's a result, in the grand scheme of things, they should be putting against us, even though I don't really rate them that well. I just don't really rate us good at all. So, yeah, I just don't get anything at the moment, and I think this Wolves game coming up, you know, Wolves, every other team below us seems to have some way of playing, even though, like you're saying, they're below us. Wolves will take advantage of us. They've got good players. They got beat against Bournemouth 4 at home, scored 4, conceded 4 at home. Not ideal, but, you know, they're teams who will come at Wolves and probably be a bit more adventurous in an attack and play where we're not. So there's absolutely no chance in hell that we're going to be scoring 4 goals against Wolves. We're just going to sit back and let Wolves do the damage against us, and us to hope and kick the ball along and just don't really have a passage of play of knowing what we're doing, kind of hoping for mistakes from Wolves that we can punish. So yeah, I would not be surprised if we lose like 3-1 against Wolves at home next week. I would not be surprised at all. I really wouldn't. They'll definitely come at us, especially after this result as well. I think any team should. Oh, yeah. Not good, not good. Really glad I haven't wasted my time and energy watching that. But anyway, like, comment, subscribe. I was going to do a match preview, but I had things to do yesterday and the day before I was going to do it. And yeah, I think I totally forgot, to be honest, because I was thinking, I was just dreading this weekend of football. So yeah, cool. So I'll do a match preview for the Wolves game next on Thursday, I think, and then yeah, do the game reaction on Saturday, and probably have the same type of, you know, reaction, probably worse. But yeah, I'll see you all soon.